na origin no
soja for mani so she crazy for ni nyina ona no mo ene for dey say ma o nyina da ne ma guess
o ma da ne guess enti edwa wo ye ntwa ne man no na mu ye two roots no beboa okay they just say come not watch it there's MPs we no yentimi twitwa mo branches man ye o say ye two o mo beboa na hwan na be two o mo ye me ne wa o omo be mayo chinkafa says the bronya be ye come according to constituency 4 years in your the whole 12 months wanko we can okoko hwehwe be the party for be want to about man wo koche chinkafa ne wheat ne the tujimi ni fright on the no back no the kulu e come the 11 months 2 weeks or 3 weeks the afa na kakra ya obeji no it me catch you say en canon just say penifo na e problem say na ye ya ade bie ne de musi wo ye ne de musi wo no enti sade ne nya ye aka ye si he e penifo say etre ne nya adwene nye because adwene wo tre nim and say leaders no o me reflection ya aka say ye ne to mutum ayom de na ke to mu say emra o meti ase a little bit to be European Parliament no ya na ye ko yi yes vote of no confidence Prime Minister Timothy to na there 4 times in one okon ye tu no wasaba okon ye tu no omo pe kwasasem etimi kan say me ba America dey back na me America won yes have midterm elections no and dey nyame ni miss ai say ye ntwema 4 years mba within a year 2 years na say nyame bo next year say Democrat for musu cause last 1 year 2 year no election we buy nan kai Democrat for more Republican for na ejina and now Republican to close gam kakra enti 2022 ye komi November koto abebi mu Democrat for be Senate for be lose some seat ubo se be dane sa na tie midterm election since ya Biden on number ne popularity number 20% ne Trump kwade name say kenye Trump dey ba otimi ko average 40% 45% tire the 4 years no anu ko na CNN MSNBC kwa tata no we dey MSNBC wan nyina ta Joe Biden adani nkoyi onu anka so munim na we nso a Joe Manchin adawoma ometima passe sa yi no enti afede kwa da abu akofa koma enti no papa bumi ehwe you old model for new model no enti minye adwuma ye kan ye timafuni esu ene we nye ndc ye enso ye kwa ye ndc atoma no MPP we kwamnaka we opa 2024 my ye break 8 no one ever NDC it won fan so better opposition 30 years from say ye ya ono na beba so that's it na kaye dey almost NDC ko wako be 50 years won ba ye na MPP su ko wako be 60 years won ba ya na yo won RTU baby no to yon de Premier League last time we call how many years on 10 years as long as I'm back when we say the performance on ye no and now omu kotoko omu kotoko ball draw but way or maybe being United or be 30 years ni kwa bibrim Swedo All Stars or Blacks obia sanetie sane ke fe no wedanes uko wedanes uko cha o se debi obeba kwa na MP kwa ni wo na wa mo TMP because say people come wu na fe de obia apemu ni afa bibia new one patriotic government we new one patriotic na and this is nzogu National Democratic be a party National Party Democrats na obu se ye ni sa ho ni ho bi it is the power lies with we the people no say ye koye ni sa dia enye he say o se missionary position and no ye beda na Dr. Sister Sound o yin timi wono so eno ade a ene o ye se be friend so boni nso e beka so abanyi utu nso na bia na oso o chenyi o star kakra se ena no I bet kanapa I manage no ena na o ko zoom na o ye chenyi o star akraketwa asokanoma o da so wa be mu onko busa General Petrus American yes dey nso so kwasesem so wo girlfriend o dey know the secret because the happiest moment of a man is also his weakest. Come on, be many ageno, and then hey, when you Satam no ban open Peruvian hey, what the Bema war. Would you ask blue pajamas, yes, what that's so yes, I point no. It's a baby. Says, would you mean morning, yeah, more basu? It's obutumoyo with the eh, we more no news, or make a crack in a nature book, a cranam yet more. And now, no, against the doctor, acquire or a Dr. Anane, or by America, HIV. You say a man tell him about much condom. Tola or use condom. Tola. Mizu use condom.
So me join the child support on many average. Me join
Na
no.
me say so the child support who will be just say why na wakonye mu na was child support.
I said who can I said yeah. What you to say what conclude say.
Why so the can you positive in there or can you a passive voice we active voice. Yeah, that better so. Yeah, just say na no asema kituyos and kai no wan hwe ya dako no. O say aponche ni wo ne bu tintin wan hwe no so dako da paso no. Kituyos junior. Junior too. Hey. Papa mummy enda yenhwe ye bibi eda. Wan hwe bibi eda no wan hwe ya na say be go bi. And then on say spams no. Say kan na spams ni tugu. Say na dey was spam bank o. Say ho ko tumi jiska kakra. Timi nya no.
Sa.
Ti rest of a be ko kuba so hwe no wan ko yi asafo no. Yes e bi wo yi.
Na mama de ne o spam mi fa ko ji kakra because say no.
Me dey spam can me ska rough because on say intelligence
on you. They are not say the quality per grade.
Mel and no sika me nya no because enye say spam no ko no mo hwe die ni say o mutimi predict say akra we akra be free spam aba no obey say no mo ye no enye so ko ye na o mo just
ya tia say ye na koton we na bende because say me
ko na me dey akoma me dey best of attack on the phone radio
Bombardier pass na o kan Ghana
and Ghana uko here Smithers Road no hospital wa ko mo ye
lucrative sir ma try enye lucrative
yey asem obi asabu pro ko bi asabu pro uko ye
ba ko pe ye wo bi wo me kwan we so me wo minimum obi o ye djuma wo de ha ma dwen sir but omo kan ska omo bo no elsa nti me fa ma dwen
sama on
no je boga pa rasta man dem marketing kasi
no it's when you need the baby and sperm the boy then but to sell it is that expensive.
Into one person ko dia o ko bi account ni dia ye ma hwe
o ko to dia amuton na boarding man but when you are going to donate and sell they don't buy it that expensive.
Oh sir.
Yes.
That question CD exchange rate no o ko to dollar na
I think say the entire the differences between the selling and the buying price no we will see the test here and there on by after we donation, you know. So they have to test and see say sperm we say babaso just for argument's sake babaso ne nasifo no bibia nya de be go ace ne nasifo nya de be enim ntino after so my yes test ni nyina awie no untimi nya no the same price ko donate you know so yes of you
me pacho ai enra na sana na mti say me nua kwabra no kasa o say wanya bibi say eden child support ye o sika no so o ma me nya de understand say enye wo no but the minim pa so say abroche nkuru bia so de countries run by rule of law litigation be say enya no kre say de kwabra ama me mate enya no kre dia then seriously the authorities of the letter by disturb kwabra no psychologically they are disturbing kwabra. He can turn around and sue those people, sue them for millions of dollars because he's in a clear. I don't want to see woman what the bed already.
Kwabra the penalty him.
He should engage a lawyer. He should get an
attorney. Oba America bi mu child support e bi ankwara no kura nyo mama wu omomra na na
do paternity say
nti so de an
oh dey do ade on the oba
enya what na say government letter about who say psychologically disable ukuta ka
oba na pra me sorry 5 am na me 9
dey ha kwabra ni say
now we're trying
ejachu dey ha kwabra ni say oba na bono condition no enyo no nko a na wako ho tiniti da kwabra pese so on edi to
sanye wo ha dia
asama to me anka mo beka bia mami na go dem mo
asama okay
where
I was a false positive asama okay na cause a false positive
an attorney Not one fight for you. Won't see one more deal at an buy. You should sue them. Millions of dollars.
Offending a macro first step now, my friend, and I'm so only me case work at the Becassa. Because me who are back on a beer.
Kwabra Mr. Mammy Musa question we see, right? A bit my possible senor, right? Oh, yeah. Mammy Muso, is there a possibility, say, wouldn't be our baby? I wouldn't want to.
I know the Papa, Mecca Bible, the question is a minimum that. Say, as I'm not cry, I say, minimum baby as a me few. But they say, I'm a corner, Miss Anka, I say, me call California, maybe a baby 14 years ago. And I mean, and I want to be by Anna. So, it is a person which would be question. So, I don't know. I don't know, meant I say, and then
Jerry Joe. Jerry Joe.
And some cross and the back this blue dozen. Now, Papa, as I'm Abano, just I know I'm sorry 5 p.m. and I mean, Anna, what do you question? Say, be out new be a way, be sound.
No, see Wabano. Engage an attorney.
Me who dinas, I said, be ambassador of
Onye any asem no onye hu oba no eni tira ma confusion
and ye wa ko dia grow baby
and say of me who dini dia na fe ma ko hwem say mo ma me DNA test na me say ye no kra na say ye no kra but later na buy no edin bi ani so papa me wi a me say that the paper no me screenshot and me the bebro na why you must ma me ke bi ana bi nya bi aka bi ama me ana
ba kuma papa na papa kuma ejachum
support room there and nice and Ghana ni dey me nya nkuti je nkamaka we support the bemu amaka kurimu
18 years
asem we pato empany for mutie asem abai kwabra wo engage attorney no ni attorney wo mo friend na me wo friend attorney client confidentiality and the kura no eho kwabra kwa na de wo dwan woni ba bia wo se wo betimi akamu no kura de atre an attorney aja radio so won kan no kura ntire me na mo woni wo lawyer e ko se dem dia the friend attorney client confidentiality wo ba ka se wo ampa me yese me na ampa pa sa wonye bibia woni wo ba woni ne tie dia wait this shouldn't be a worry to you
in se kwabna didi na ke nyina ke be yi wo akodru ko kustu
of be na yes scam o say scammers adult of scammers adult me check bi o say here da ho a nkofo bi o mo chiro check brem so me ko deposit check te wo yes ade ni wi a no maka so transfer check ni ko many pass mesi wo be hu na say check na ko bounce na e di o scammers no mo wo kwan be bre o mo fa so this time so ti media be bi kura na ofa o die na mkwan so na so wo we scam e bi tu ni pe bi wa say
na kwabna wo solid system o say America wo hu within hours say scam na scam serious o meet me mama wo fast Chelsea emenya brother or sister baby Chelsea na minim no so that see enkura mienu ye nyina Abraham Jadawo ma o hwe kama na wutu won ma na nso enya wanwa Lisbon for 90
enya sam ketu asa oni ai na agrosa no
Chelsea be say wo na wo man ya agro wo na wo man ya agro
bi ko ba na wadi 14 years kran ka 4 years in Cameroon
we better back pay
baby ala ba na fe no wadi one day na dem wo point twa ofa
baby onu ko better back pay
enkwala say na no fie no ba ko na mienu miensa don no TCC ara say
Kwabra hey
o my say
no
the question is yes and my say one more no
the miensa
miensa okay
and am say ba ko so na eti California akoye 9
I assumption papa Becca say assumption
over California dey obi any honum 14 years dey go be bank wa bada da check
Basa,
last year, now me will be already 35 years, and I'm a chin. I heard papa. Into 14 years, then I will tell the other.
Yeah.
All right. That was it. Now, mommy, move on to.
Mama can be one, but as we are saying, it's a serious issue that you can either also make money from. Enti senya wo kanon die trentem na obeje ska wo ho awenye ska wo ho
oh the way I must be how it means you amanu test you na kra na ba wa jofa ade ho se me bisa se me bi to bi we odi pa kunu ko di loto $1 million ɛna ɔkɔgye ne sika ɔkɔɛ na ɔmo ma ne check of about $500,000 ɔmo atete ne taxes a onya 500,000 ɛna ɔbaa nti ɔbaa no na ɔyɛ baba ɛhɔ na me de me ba ikono ko nti ɔbaa na ne nkurɔfoɔ no kɔsa barbering shop nso ha se ɛhɔ na nkɔnkɔnsɛ nyina yɛdi no nti ɔmo no so yɛsisiw
Parliament.
yɛsisiw
Akata for Parliament.
yɛsisiw wokɔɛ yɛsisiw sanfa kɔ ɔkɔɛ na ɔde check ne san kɔma nkɔfɔ obi ɔyɛ citizen ade nti na odi lo to ɔmo ama ne 500,000 na ɔmo ate ne too much in tax ɛna ɔmo so wɔn twɛn na ɔmo ba ɔmo kɔ akɔhwɛ sɛ bi a mistake bi ɔmo kɔɛ nɔmba ne 500 and some 300 and something 500 na ɔde kɔɛ no ɔmo brɛ ne tena no ɔka sɛ ɔkae sɛ nkwadaa bi wɔ Ohio ana ɛna ɔsɛn na ɔmo so ɔde catch support back adeɛ ɛna ɔmo san ate ne ɔba no back pay no almost a dream in almost a man balance. In the over, I said, we are one one so I don't tell my that chair of a mamma name. Monday, me, I'm a office or main tram or mom crab, mammy, I'm a office or could be some say, yeah, can answer. And you know, I'm into an I'm the boo, Nanny Abra, so back.
Boba by Intino, Yama Bobo, Emra, and the Bobo, and Papa, yes.
Yeah. Na me run me the end up and say be and over point mana
and I have meted yasana me pon
okay you only be see na I great action so about we busa question wa akon very do be na wo ho sem ka about media article beto old for the new model no
okay
abamba ben ka sem bi so be chichi
okay momon komo what yama bobo mra na o kasa na opeso busa na question na wa draw attention me ba sisi a what and the bobo.
Yes, boss, Mr. Pasmali.
You, Bubu, Yankwe, Udin Yeti, what?
My therapist, where me chair be answer. It's been a while. Made Nyamiasi na me chair be so say in na yesi tiasi. Say yengwe na yewo nkwa. Na ewiase here na there are a lot of events. Inti say one to me na so wo nkwa dia na say you can live to speak and direct and then participate in the future. And with us in the answer, maintain follow discussion. If I'm a mixture of we say for today, and it's a mere meeting my candidate, person my candidate, no problem. But if you do a table so there, I can express my opinion on it. Meaning that me join CCNT. And I said the prince kind no person man can want them so there.
What they kind of maybe question is so be pertinent question. Say your old constitution, say your old DNA change. I'm saying Bibisa no kapa home because Babi.
Oh, good. Okay, I can start from Prince question. Yeah. Okay. But quick one before I make Prince the answer. Just my observation on social media. Ghana is a country of a whole. And you won't be brave. Some Obia or Nadjin or how a person country in Iran. And at the Bondian a constitution. But Ghana for be I your margin say at Didier and the model on person we use to send a message. And they are very, very intolerant of divergent views. But unfortunately, no, many observations, I mean, who say those people now are more try say, or more authority for they are the biggest problem when the gun is turned at them because I quite don't say actually be on shit or say you point a gun, not forgetting that the gun is pointing at you. Now, yes, sorry, cry and say, it may be some Jonah Becassin say nipa being tolerant. And I miss my observe well who say majority of Ghanaians are agitators. Some are of strong view of that some person they want a change in government by hook, crook, or whatever means possible. And what who hold other view biano, they see you say what you either defend the government or you have different opinion. And I mentioned who those who go for and say either say they're either anti-government or they're NDC in a different cassock and they don't want to portray it out. Platform also for dialogue, no. It has become a platform for attack. and not accepting other views. Okay, chere why be na me so me chere my dream. Now you know how we be push the way forward. But increasingly you see a patient stand of attack. And answer for crazy akwana sebi de omo accommodate agimi for so that omo tie omo so my dream have things going on. When you meet at the platform, I'll speak specifically. Kwabna may have a different view. A German may have a different view. They may be in a different world, but that is their view. What you do to educate people is to punch holes, the inadequacies in their statement, so that we see the invalidity in their statement. They are human beings, they will think, and then they will move forward. But I could say, oh, what can we do for what don't can you what can we very, very difficult to be in that environment and have a good dialogue. My friends, watch it. And the kind of something to do with Mr. Abembabin. Me reading the piece, you know, me will challenge kakra. Where the piece say, or say the game has changed, and the old rule will not work again. But now me imagine say Ghana, we are using the constitution of Ghana to work. And the constitution is a 1992. Is it the case that if the constitution is not fit for purpose, then there should be an issue to address the issue of the constitution, so we get a new model, a new template that we can work with. But and yes, a constitution is there. On what model is it? Some. Yes.
Question.
Did he make specific reference to the constitution, or he just said the old has changed, the old ways have changed?
I great archipelago also or the ones that told with me extrapolation to calling Kibi. Intimate me, honest me, I say.
So I said different. That's why I want him to enlighten me on how he understood it. Because I don't believe he says
understand say achibobo yebobo hu say achibobo achibaba
first for wadia we bi ade no mato on we bi ade mato on ti akwa say you the listener very important consideration be boy nyina no the constitution the bandi nyina until say ono be no specific no you wouldn't know what it means. Into Morgan say wo share abamba bi adwem na wonim your person ochira, you can smaller the thing down a little bit so that be nya be hu be bit ma focus ko. But me who we say now, the first thing that comes to my mind is say the biggest operating tool ready adwuma Ghana no and a constitution and in the pillar of rule of law. Enti eno de who deviate here, you bit ma kan ABCD. But so in your mind, you know, what do you think he was referring to?
Okay, so for me, I believe he was referring to the fact that now we don't have a simple majority like we used to have in the past, where when any issue is thrown to the board, we just do a simple vote. Whether we vote by voice or proper numbers, we get the majority party winning. I believe that today we don't have that anymore, in as much as we have one candidate who doesn't belong to any party. I believe that there must be dialogue in their discussions now more than it used to be, where we do yeah and we are gone. For me, that's how I understood that comment.
Okay. So okay.
No, hold on, Mr. Archie. Mami can't 1 second be not Mr. Dear Minia Fork and Kai, you know, and the crap papa. Now some of us are congenital liars in tea. From 1992, Airbus is saying in Yano. Now government are abandoning Yano. No more huge majority, more than 50. They had a working majority. And now Emma simple, so Emma warm, so they carry the day. But last year 2020 election, a new uncharted area for the first time in 30 years. Yenya 137. And the Bakupe, it has never happened since 1992. Yeah, this is what we call, if you like, some people are refusing even to call it a hang parliament. But it is a hang parliament.
If you can pause a little bit, I'm responding to Morgan, then I'm out there soon. But what you want to start with now, on the 6th of January, Ghana for I am yet to say there's nothing like majority in parliament. Today, who say majority is in parliament. Into the course one in here, it shouldn't have happened because Mbana Betche say there will be a majority and there will be a minority. Into what we have now is a majority group and minority group. So why we couldn't agree on this on the 6th of January? It's a bit problematic. First one, second one, Anna Mr. Morgan Eka, Bambami Kotuno. I think say history will prove me wrong because there is an evidence of parliamentary hazard that can prove say the Mr. Babi Eka 4 points in his statement were full of lies. 1, 3 accounts of his statement has been read and proven to be lies. And then the last one, if you are no Babi in the numino, is evidence in 2015, parliamentary hazard. Asema esi neye EBC 2015. Or no was the same person in front. And the ruling was that the ruling in 2015, Joe Ajaho said, because it can happen in the future, that should be a guideline for us in the future. So the question of quorum, the question of decision making is not in dispute from parliamentary hazard and what has happened before. And anybody who wants to know that can learn from history and you get that. Okay. Enti say ye kase ye departed from older. Are we saying say what are we departing from old? Constitution a year to ago. And as a practice before and a year to ago. Democracy. You see your majority and minority. Say Ghana, you see any majority there. Then we should have something hang parliament. Then the hang parliament, either you have 2 parties or 3 parties coming together, then you have the minority. Are we saying, say, we have majority or we don't have majority? Enti Babin Diano mean tia sie.
Mamenchira Hokakra.
Okay.
89, unse oshe asema Babin Kayana. Now, or person say, I said, the assistant Convobes said, or no, in more from 92 no until say Mahama Tam Cranim say city president Covid losing na any JJ time 93 I don't cry people for command parliament international say mu 100 any na NDC for any bia independent candidate crack ho.
Yes, that's right.
By etina ye what margin no what even recently 20 as of a year 2016 2017
yeah.
MPP more than plus 100. So that's it. No. Just say, you hear say over for me. And yet, the adjust for before Abuchimbo. Oh, let's go to Abuchimbo. So, na Brungo Crabber, because I have over 50 back account no money quorum. But then the bad person chance say, the only was if we cannot use the oath for the new, you say, no, I didn't say, yeah. Your majority caucus in Manot Coco, I didn't acquire almost Pepe. Say no, say me fans and MPP. It was what you say, or what you say no, and any rubber stamps, and straightforward, sir. Even though say your majority caucus, your majority working group near, and yet say, oh, sorry, I saw, but any necessity, no, what even considered a chamber, a outside chamber and a parliamentary chamber. It's in Obi who says no parliament no any better sir MPP no come more majority working group no with the inclusion of independent who say any better sir. Come a Babin call you can say Dubai no and Ukraine na only Ukraine and the crown the and second to me pass it budget no. It will share from the intent of Babino, and yes, ABS, you or Paji say, says Obian team for Pata Passam and the entry from said the Encadene will be what after the majority. So that's it.
Mami so aye me da wasi pacho
very important say no stage
no for mami kasa ka wa me so enya sa ni man ba boom big me ntimi
answer because I'm saying for the discussion say we don't have a majority, a comfortable majority. Your majority are fluid.
Don't use adjectives. Use the correct word. Do you have majority or you have minority?
No.
Don't use the word comfortable.
No, hold on, please. You're talking about 2016. Akufo-Addo won with the majority of 100. And you're talking about 2020. 100 majority has been dropped to just one pair. That is the difference. Akufo-Addo lose all the 100 majority advantage, it's gone. It's been whittled down to just one for Mina MP. And you have just one. Are you telling me, Archie, Bobo, are you telling me the 100 majority Akufo-Addo won 2016 and the same said the majority were winning 2020? Is that what you're telling me? From 100 to 1?
Okay, Matthias,
from 100 advantage to just one advantage.
Meba. Exams, you see pass mark no, 50.
Oh, please.
No. Oh, no, see, when we are not being objective and truthful, then we are not being justice to the issue. The pass mark is 50. No. No. Let's work with the rules. The rules is that we have 100%. Half is 50. 50 plus is the majority. Into your quiet exams, I remember Kochadie. Na I didn't 100. Prince near 50, na me 50 a. And watching you know. Say me bibi ebu 50 no so a. Prince dey swati. Enti me Prince one e wodo do. You can go to the second layer.
Quick question.
I can agree with
individual parliamentarian, no kind PP one. Is he now part of NPP majority? He is an independent candidate. He's not part of NPP.
Okay, so now let's understand.
It is only through voting that he associates
himself. Okay, so who is the minority leader? Who is the majority leader in parliament today? Do you have a majority leader?
We have a hanging parliament.
Oh, so then there's no minority, there's no majority.
That's why when they brought the e-levy for the first time and they walked away. The people who brought the e-levy document, the budget, walked away because they simply couldn't meet.
This is when you play to the gallery. You see, you play to the gallery.
Your majority, idea difference about say your majority party and your minority party. This is your majority caucus.
That's it.
And whereby a question constitution standing orders of parliament and you will say
very good.
Sir, majority minority one is not just for party. A majority is more of a caucus. And since Intinama some majority caucus no more ye chairman sabunso or may or more majority.
Agree.
And
100% agree with you.
Once why ye ATN cannot say they say when the BC that said Mama no really that no president lose it, but then a constitution and as a standard who show my interpretation proper no by candidate you say a party and then majority name of the send your party crowd you free say independent three echo can minority party I must say can choose a say divide a 137.5 but you can't have a half a human being say no. NDC can be a majority party. Saying Caribbean or three independent people are more NDC one. NDC majority.
100%.
100%. Okay, but the maker from Alambab point is say he's not trying to say be a new, but no more. But say no fluidity no and reduce it.
So
I say pipe on that and we are ecosimuno. Won't say pressure and force over area. Sana koye.
Praise. Morgan and your uncle is refusing to understand that point. That there's something called majority in parliament today. They don't understand it.
From his explanation, I understand.
There's a majority. There's a majority.
Okay, fine. So,
if
there's a majority,
and Kadia here pan say in any serious political science studies. This is the time where we need concession and conceding and somebody before the agony Akasa behind closed doors.
And don't know apply those.
Your friend consultation. And then there was a time where they from the Cold War. Russia and America, they could press the button and blow up the whole world. And then Russia is sitting down with America to bring peace. No, MPP are refusing to consult.
Strange things are happening in Ghana.
Because of arrogance.
Strange things. Look. Thank you. The first thing we must come to understand is do we have majority group in parliament today or we have minority group in parliament today? See, your majority group and your minority group there. Then when that basis is established, then we come to the understanding how decisions are made in the most democracy. Is it by majority decision or by minority group decision? And for me, with every discussion along the way. This is my point. My point is, why is it that Ghana, it was 6th of January? So there's nothing like majority group. But today we've come to understand there's something like majority group. Then let's come to the budget and the matters arising from the budget. Budget, the bone of contention of budget was the e-levy. A budget proposal or the ABA. Was it this in the expenditure and in the revenue? Budget is only a policy statement. The parliament. Yeah, the who we are. Say parliament is a policy statement. Not who we are. Then you move to the next stage. We call it appropriation bill. When you approve the appropriation bill, then you go to the various items in the appropriation bill that has to be backed by law. So first of all, there was a contention with 137 say that the budget is not approved. 138 saying that the budget is approved. Okay, I bet choka Ghana. Then we say, come on. The same 137 now Moka say the budget is rejected. They have participated in the same budget to approve the appropriation bill. Come on, what is happening? Are they illegal? And yet they are rejected. The same 137, please let me hold on, let me finish. Have participated in approving the appropriation bill. What is the appropriation bill? Appropriation bill is a legal document that authorizes a government how much he can spend. In Ghana here, you divide into various ministries. For example, it may be the Ministry of Health. They allocated 2 billion with you. Now Parliament has started no more approval. That 2 billion. This 2 billion divided into compensation, administration, and investment. There's no way that Ministry of Health can spend beyond that 2 billion without recourse to Parliament for authorization. Or they can only spend below. Who approved that as operation bill now? The next point is when buying this is a Chicano, every breast ministry, I'm on my then, almost spending Chicano. Then there's something we call government revenue handlers. The government revenue handlers in Ghana, you will see Canadian a be from export and a be from taxation. One of the revenue handlers are buying into the soon, a friend e-levy. In the e-levy, Chicano Benya Umono, and a beko appropriation bill na Parliament na approval. In the appropriation bill na Parliament na approval, there's a component in it to say, Chicana wo expenditure na we see say expenditure and Chicana bebano, way from e-levy, way from we see. Parliament approve appropriation bill na we. What is left to say? That e-levy, must come with a law. There's a bill now about 170 pages. Explaining what is the e-levy, what is the exemptions, what can be taxed, and what cannot be taxed. Parliament, by their decision, are going to deliberate on that. And the Parliament will vote to say, I don't know about the Barquan, and yet Papa and Tien reject it. anaasɛ yɛnte so anaasɛ yɛnte so anaasɛ mmara wei si no yɛmfa mmara wei ne ɛmbake. That is the stage that we are now. So in terms of administrative, procedural, and law, this is how it looks like. Now you come to the next phase that our minimal judge always here is to come to who we call a Speaker of Parliament and the composition of Parliament in Ghana. In Ghana, there is a parliamentary board headed by the Speaker, and the Speaker is the one who nominates people to come to the parliamentary board. Your legislature, and a parliament, and you the executive, which is the president and government machinery, and you the judiciary. So in the budget process, judiciary or in the budget parliament need two parliamentary board, almost your budget no executive no in the budget The one who take the decision on it, the president through the finance minister. Okay, until there's a tripartite meeting between the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. Almost every year, this consultation now, government give the ceiling, but the final authority rests with the parliament, legislature. Into number approve what has to be run. Into number appropriation bill, eco parliament. Until the authority comes to the budget, parliament only gives a ceiling. Say, okay, these are the ceilings we are going to work with through. That is what we call the appropriation bill. Approve in the legislature, no more expenditure. The spending officer is the Speaker of Parliament. The Parliament by a press conference. Omube to kwai, omube den, omube wesi, omo kalo ni wesi nyina a negotiation through them through the Speaker for the executive to approve. So, if you want to question what goes in Parliament, then you come to the next divisions. You will be a fellow leader of government business. Or no, engineer from what has to be conducted on the floor of Parliament. Then we have the minority leader who represent the biggest dissent views of the opposition that have to put check on the government conduct. Then we have the Speaker. So strangely in Ghana, in our history, 138 who formed the group decided to nominate a person from the group of 137. And the group of 137 almost stay on their grounds. The called Parliament House also a vote to take a decision. Somehow, a group is preventing a decision to be taken. If it's a parliament, in front of Kwanekoho, it's an area that we exchange and we argue on the strength of rationality of your argument. Disagreement, they can judge among themselves or they go to the court for the final resolution. What consistently we have seen in our parliament say, when there's a disagreement, a group may rise against the other group. A group may say that you cannot even vote. A group will say that will prevent you from doing ABCD. Parliament is not a place that it has to be used by force. Not just the rule of force. Now, rule of force, it is said here, what the akwaje power. Any military adventurers in democracy offend the rule of minority. Say me, achi, me Captain Morgan, if you say holding. In the Ghana for you, bit me the 20 soldier for ye bedimo from Monsem. Ye bed ye pay. When you do that, what happens is say, Kwabra, any Prince Bogyae, so Tanawana, so also quiet, much society, so confuse of more than Chenwa. They'll come by the same way and take it out of you. And when you preach for military adventures, when you preach for rule by the military, what you are saying, you say, you want like-minded, strong people to take power by force. Forgetting, say, the same way, Obi so betena se hu say ono so no de no echen o. You come to a common ground say let's use democracy as a vehicle. See if you say democracy na nyama idea, any anyansafo have to judge and build like-minded people so that they face the force of democracy. Or abana oye nyama say enya you build like-minded people. I'll give you one example. Somewhere in 1996, there's something they call it Kumi Preko. The government then want to introduce a VAT. And a peggy VAT, at 17.5. Opposition mobilized Nipa Bebre. Almost a big demonstration. Then government, Rollins, sensitive to the needs of Ghanaians, what did he do? Well, he reduced VAT, and Asunjoko Kotoe. In democracy, minority will have their say. Majority group have the mandate. So majority group ye ni maybe en kwasi asema ento asuma. Minority group said say you raise the issue, you organize demonstration, you build civil society, you build momentum so that you present a force to the government. And that force will either force the government to change its behavior direction or that government will lose election. But Ekobase, you point a gun at majority here, we're inviting trouble for the rule of law. And what is going in Ghana today is an attempt to point a gun at the majority rule. Which it should have been said, it should have been massive education, coalition forces against what you perceive to be wrong. Then you mobilize that forces, you hit the street as your constitutional right. Say, Adena Ekosono, Mompe. Now, Mompe, this is your stand. You organize civil society, you go on education. Ghanaians go on a demonstration, region to region, making government unpopular, making government so difficult. A listening government will listen to that. No. The oppressor Oyenye, me minor Mompe. Then the government will respond. If you lack ability to organize, you lack ability to master the civil forces to pressure a government, the way out is not a fight, and the way out is not pointing a gun at government.
Bomade, Achibobo, sorry, but maybe our first question. Me Pauchopi, Senia Kufuado bu on my NPP government, Ebu on my is it as you are painting it? What you are painting is the what the real word is the right atmosphere. That is when everything is right. It will play out the way you are saying it. We wouldn't have an issue. But we have a government. Yes, they are majority caucus, whatever. But for the past 5 years, you and I know that there are issues which have been raised, which the MPP government just throw it away. When you try to organize demonstrations, they step into it. Whatever you do to talk to them, they don't listen. So for you, where you are sitting and preaching what the standing orders and the right means should be of dialoguing, do you think, as of today, the MPP government has opened its doors to such dialogue? If the answer is yes, then there's everything wrong with what the NDC did. But if the answer is no, why are you blaming NDC? Because 5 years, people have tried to demonstrate. NDC, but this is not the first time they are against the e-budget, e-levy. The first time it was introduced to them, they raised issues. What happened after those issues were raised? Well,
Morgan, how old are you?
I'm 42.
Okay. Do you remember something we call communication tax? That was described as talk tax.
Fortunately, I work in a telco. Fortunately, again, I'm the one to even introduce it in our system, softwares. So
okay, good.
I know CST.
So fine.
I know all the taxes in Ghana today
fine.
because I implement
I could start from that point. But to address the first issue before I could go to that point is that, okay, You see, when a government is doing something that is wrong, you educate people, and then a decision is made on the ballot box. So you were telling me that for the last 5 years, the last 5 years include 4 years. Therefore, when it was getting to 2020 December, the thinking is that whatever has been done wrong in the system will inform Ghanaian choices and understanding as to who they want them to lead them.
That is the ideal situation. That's what I'm saying.
No, we have no choice. You see,
we are not in an ideal situation.
No.
Ghana
See,
is
you are opting for something, Morgan. You're opting for something that is dangerous.
Views. You know that.
No. Morgan, please. You're opting for something that is dangerous. Either, if I have to go by you, understand is that then we have to change the democracy and go by your standard. That what we don't like, let's throw these things away. These things will not work for us. So we have to go to a new paradigm shift and opt for a new rule of law or a new course, chartered course for Ghana. But once you opt for this, let's play by what the rules. It is that you change government by impeachment or by vote. Impeachment means that
actually,
through parliamentary process.
If I'm fighting with you and you're not playing by the rules, I cannot play by the rules. That's one thing you should get straight. The government is not playing by the rules. You expect the citizenry to play by the rules.
For mob action. You're opting for mob action and rule by minority. That is wrong.
I'm asking you a question. I said the government is not playing by the rules, and you know that. Are you expecting we citizenry to play by the rules? It's a simple question. Are you expecting us to play by the rules?
Morgan, you make a choice. Were you in a good sense of your mind when you were choosing someone to lead you? And there's a step that if you don't like someone who you have chosen not to rule you, not even exhaust his term of office, there's a pathway. Civil agitation, and then through impeachment to get a person out. The second option is to be patient, tell the people what is wrong with the government, and 4 years, you take the government out. The last option is that, okay, let's collapse the system altogether and build a new system. So there are consequences for all these actions. At the moment, what we can hold on is the two options. The first option is massive education to Ghanaians as to what is wrong with our system. And let's marshal that forces to put pressure on government or use the parliamentary system to get the government out. If we cannot do that, then we have to be patient for the 4 years. Let the same Ghanaians vote the government out.
Ajibobo, as of today, how much loan has Akufo-Addo contracted on our heads, which we have to pay as taxpayers? Wait. I've
got a lot of issues with the things to debate.
We don't expect to play in an ideal situation where we are not.
Morgan,
that's the simple thing.
Take issues and discuss them issue by issue. When you start camouflaging the issues and jumping the issues, we can't make any sense. So let's pick up one issue. We're talking about parliamentary things.
The issue is e-levy. The issue here is e-levy.
Very good. So what e-levy?
You, as a Ghanaian, do you think the introduction of e-levy and the way it was brought to us the first time by MPP was right?
Okay. What is the challenges with it now that we think we should address?
You don't tax my my capital before I even invest it.
You don't tax your capital before you invest.
Yes.
Morgan. Okay.
This is my
good.
mode of payment. You are taxing, not my.
What is your? Have you read the e-levy and why the business case for e-levy? Because
what
see,
was that? What? No,
okay.
You see,
let
the
me
government
give
brought
this
an e-levy. Wait, Achibobo.
Okay.
The government has been refining whatever they brought the first time. So when we keep asking us if we've read, it's been refined. We can't keep chasing government every day when they refined whatever they are bringing. Now, what they brought to us, wait. For the first time, I asked you earlier, when they brought it earlier on and it was rejected and they walked out, was it right for them to have walked out?
Morgan, you don't understand the process. You don't understand the process. Until you don't understand the process, you don't get. See, I told you that it's a policy statement. Then you come by the law. The law is what matters most. Policy statement is an intention. Government can come with an intention that, okay, I'm coming with e-levy, even 7% or 10%. It is not infinite. It is not. It has to go through the second process. The second process is a policy document backing that e-levy. And that policy document, that is what, because in the budget, you can't put
actually, if we don't agree to it, why should we wait for it to go to the second process?
Hello?
No. You see, that is the path you are taking as a process. You see, the e-levy, there's a policy document of about 170 pages, spelling out the operative system, what is involved, the handlers, mode of collection, how it's going to be cost, exemptions and not exemptions and whatever. Because to even agree with you, I won't even agree with you. What I can agree with you is that what we even think are sensitive issues, we should load it to Ghanaians. We should point out the faults. We should put up the threats on government to even throw it out altogether. The idea of rejecting the e-levy is not the idea of taking power into your hands, going to beat a speaker, going to try to prevent somebody.
Actually, I didn't want to come. I want Kovichum very much to come. But let me ask you one question. Do you live in Ghana?
Yeah, you see.
I'm a Ghanaian.
Yeah.
No. Do you live in Ghana?
I'm a Ghanaian.
No. I am heading somewhere with my question. That's why.
Because
you are saying
I can
that
answer you by law.
Was brought,
because
the opposition
Morgan
has to educate us for us to make the noise. They have done that. We've made the noise. MPP haven't listened.
Oh, you see, Morgan. Okay, to be a Ghanaian is a residential requirement. So there's a legal definition as to how to live in Ghana or not. So I'll leave that one for the meantime.
You said we haven't made noise. That's why I asked you if you live in Ghana.
No.
Because we living here are making the noise.
Morgan,
we are not.
It's not. You see, okay. Now, you have an election result of 6.2 million Ghanaians who have dissenting views to the government. Noise making of 6 million population doesn't constitute the lives of majority. If 1 million people even hit the street of Accra, it's problematic for any government. But 1 million as a percentage of 30 million is a minute. My question is that there's a consequences if you elect someone to lead you. Dialogue is a way of getting a process to arrive at a decision. Have we even questioned whether there has been dialogue or not? Have we questioned the politics behind the scenario we are getting? Have we questioned that to what extent can we even strengthen? I will be honest with you. My biggest issue with the e-levy is accountability. I want proper laws that will govern how that money is going to be accounted for. And if I can't get that process, I will not support it. I will support it as long as there's a new mechanism.
Misa, my question is, say you na democracy ni we no enye ya yempe ayi baby emfa nko na say ehun hia say ntokwa na ayi no beba. But my problem is say nipa say na kontokwa.
The question na Morgan busa me no. Na me patch mu say you were 3 choices so say you choose to say democracy ni de adwuma. The democracy ni de be adwuma de a any democracy no you kwan ya faswa you dey say aban say yempa. Say yempa democracy ni so de a and say no ye no adventurous people who will take leadership by force. No. Wo wadwen ene wa hoɔden no mo atwa ofi sɛ nyema nkoyi nti de opɛ sɛ wo yɛ na no ofa sa course no so a obia so ɔno onya adwen no dachi bia no ɔno so betimi atwe ene wa yɛ we sei ene wa betwe mmra no so enti sɛ wopɛ democracy dia ene kwan da hɔ ompɛ democracy no so a kwan a opɛ no fa no so na no sa kwan na wofa so no fɛ no the rule by minority. That is a group of people who think that democracy is not right for us because democracy, it was a process, I call ya and they say majority like that this has to be the way out. And they say a bullshit there. And I say what drink I nyansa and officers or young fanco. This is Miss Many Cabinet, nothing you who say. Also the other by and person there. It's about 2 ako. And then out here after a Cromani Bogyae, there was changes in military within we ban away called NLMT 1 and 2 and 3. And that's the way I see it. Say we have to charter the course of democracy, or if you don't like it, then we use a different course. Mr. Abbott.
Obia song gaza. Mr. Balan, my question.
Me question dia my answer. Me question dia me pisa say. Na we ne kire say ye blame MPs ne say o mo kone we no. Na me kire say ono according to ono as ye blame one side of MP say bia NDC for na NDC MPP for na den to kanaba. Me problem say nipa say na eko. Entokwa nipa say na deko. Me the question na.
Okay. Unim I actually say in the parliament floor now they make a decision. And they make a decision by voting. So on TSA, so we be vote. There's a procedure, you register your dissatisfaction. In the Argentina 275 MPs akokushia. Na which group or which people were prevented from people casting their vote to make a decision? Why should someone be prevented?
Because the law also tells us who preside our own vote. And also what done law.
Good. And you
Menu me on Chassis.
The law no case who preside won't mean vote. Not any person who vote. And also the force and also there's a procedure that you have to use to address that negativity in any person. The force
also person oko vote no ono so yes the force ne ko vote ara say ono so o follow procedure.
David.
A question.
Okay, do you endorse force?
Must follow the procedure.
Me dem endorse force. Because
both sides must follow the procedure. If one side decide not to, why should the other one do it? Tell me.
Okay. Only the rule of jungle. And that's why we use force to determine things. Because the use of force is not in the bosom of one person. If you want to use force, and I also decide to use force, the one with the stronger force will conquer. The use of that violent action to make a decision should not prevail. My question is, if a person is going to, don't we have parliamentary police even in the room, in the place? Don't we have something guiding them that they are wronger? You have to understand the structure of parliament. Your minority caucus and your majority caucus. And your administrative procedure set differently from parliament. And no your stewards or more. Nima bi koso na se enye writer. Eye san kofo no mo na mo policy parliament no. Omo e na omo so mo ye we se nti wo hwa ade koso no. Those people step in. The question to you is say, which force? Who Mr. Abbott will force? And I say Kwabena force. In the parliament no, any force against force, what one hodeno, what the name fana?
Automatically sana because of say
any rule of jungle and my kingdom.
Say rule of jungle no a leadership name maneba because procedure and say said you can pass parliament procedure and say more ye bribi me se mentiase mobile no mo de procedure na aye I reject first ayina ye no fine ya jatum musa wo procedure bi say so obi ntiase a minority leader no be rezi then no mo gira so mo discuss mo debate wi amato ho aba but me buy am fast procedure no so a law of parliament no me ye no obi so efa ono ankasa no autocratic say me nyusu me ma onkasa ye nkoso law bi ani ho e no boss ade ntugu ye abrani parliamentary sa time na ye kan no me ka baka chem se me kokot aba no so no na ade no so atwam enti no the moment
na Mr. Albert na me anya parliamentary chichi mo ne ntiase se bia na ntiase na
say about problem e reject budget no na PP for ko e na omo gina parliamentary rules so according to omo no na omo so etito mu na omo nyina akwotena ase na Haruna Idrisu as a minority leader sorry raising emotion say emotion ni obias second ye enke say according to procedure no ye trans ne to so aba say na some no raising e be ye ne atimi asa da ne budget na but with Joe Wise the capacity no obi raise emotion enya wo na obeka say ma boto ogu anase me montu but o gina so boto ogu enti ena no me ma obeka oba ni wie ansamasa ko raise no boto ogu
meba okay ja enfeni si won say de me kan ni na say bibi course na nya enye ntokwa na de settle score because ntokwa no obi be hu edin achen obi
Achi, if persuasion fails,
oh, I'm coming. Morgan meba. Yes.
Bobo, Australia gwade, my senka 2024 is nyane ho be bia nke nyane mfa nko mu because they are enter kwa idea. Australia no be boa.
Mr. Bet, you shall be boa. Mr. Bet, o koto aba on e police station. Ena omo ka say abet o ti spin. Ye nwi se okra oto aba yi. Wo se ampa wo Ghana card ni. Ye register ntimeto aba. Ntu ye so kokoto aba na ni pe bia becho ni abobbo wasum ni abo kwa yeku. Sane pe. Ana se ye mawo enkonkoto aba ni register protest ni disqualify.
Good. Say me beto aba ne. Na ye register protest no. Now instead of say electoral commission say the protest ne call appropriate quarters. Now you disqualify now or say me ye na say no. Ma watwa wie mo register kura mo ni mo amatetim. Next time na me kwa nkrofo no mbeka kire say mo ntwen e register biom.
Yeah.
Senka te say okay me kwato aba no and you register protest and you de ko and you hwem na so o qualify on qualifier fine. Nipa no beja to. But me register nipa no register no. Na nim ho na watiti paper ni mu atogu say no akọ o registration cry nsam next time no me register bi
Mr. Bet, they also subscribe for the friend the rule of the jungle survivor of the
people because your jungle
no ne
and then I'll pay on
Ghana for
Morgan
perpetrating no they are not doing well.
Is it good for me to describe you Morgan, is it good to describe you that your code or your conduct is ruled by the jungle? Because that's how I'm going to perceive your wisdom.
We are speaking to issues. Wait.
No, we are speaking to you are giving me a protocol that suggests that your trump card is jungle way of living. Jungle is that okay?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We are speaking to an issue. The person we are speaking to is adamant. It is not the situation anymore where I will have to sit down and dialogue.
I cannot argue with you.
Wait, Ashi.
So if you say jungle winner, they make a decision there. Then I will agree with you. I cannot argue with you because Obiane kind of fast or really with it. But only
because if I'm talking to you and I'm not making headway with the conversation, I don't think I'll keep talking. Keep talking.
Actually,
talk to you and I get results. What I know OTM you. Make an OTA. Say yeah, but the posture of MPP government is not so. It is not. So Morgan, if it's not, what do you expect?
You see, then they say the okani na eye nyansa same we are say.
Let's stick to the issue. The issue is e-levy. Modeba Parliament first. What happened? It was rejected. Why? Finance Minister Adeba Parliament first. It was rejected by NDC, right? For which reasons? Good. The reasons that were given, did NPP sit down with NDC to look at the reasons and give them their also reasons why they think they want it done by all costs?
Do you want me to take you through?
I haven't heard that done. So if it's been done, yes. No. Has it been done?
Do you want me to take you through?
Has it been done? It's not taking me through. Has it been done?
What
the
have been done?
NDC raised the issue, when they objected to the e-levy the first time, and the MPP walked out of parliament, did the MPP dialogue with the NDC over the same issue?
Okay. Now let me see how the dialogue takes place in the parliament. That's why I say I need to take you through the process so you get good appreciation, because it's like football. We have behind the scene, and then we have what goes in the scene. So you and I can only comment with what we see.
Thank you.
Okay. We then have to understand also the process. There's something we call a business leader. Before something comes to the parliament floor, there's a dialogue between the minority and majority and the speaker. They discuss and then they come forward. When they come to the parliament house, everybody can make their own minds as to what direction they want to take the issue to. What came to the parliament floor? The minority was the view that they don't like what the finance minister has presented, and they make a strong case that there have not been enough dialogue or there have not been any conversation between them and the finance minister. So to them, they are rejecting it. So when you get to that stage, it's not only saying that, it starts to be backed by what the procedures are in parliament. That is, it comes to the question of number games. So the question of decision making and quorum has to be activated. Now, what numbers do you need in parliament to take a decision?
Actually,
you come. That's why I'm coming.
Actually, wait. If I have the numbers and whatever I'm saying doesn't make sense, how will the people without the numbers overturn what I'm saying?
Okay. Now, so that's why you see, that's why democracy, you may not like everything. You see, in Ghana, there was a point that we were even taxing condom. Do you think everybody like it? Huh? That condom
Why shouldn't condom be taxed?
Oh, I'm coming. See, this e-levy, do you think everybody like it?
You are not taxing the money I'm going to buy the condom with. You are taxing the product I'm going to buy. Every product is taxed. Every product is taxed. So why shouldn't condom be taxed?
Okay, good. So that means that if that's the case, then e-levy should not be a problem. Then everybody should like
e-levy. It's a problem. Why don't you understand? Listen, there are mode of payment. Wait, there's cash, there's check, there's debit. Yeah. You can pay by debit or credit. Yeah. You can pay by mobile money.
Yeah.
You are saying that if I'm buying anything and I decide, even if it's 10 billion, and I decide to pay with cash, you will not tax me.
MTN, how many do you take from people when they use your platform for payment? How much do you take from people?
Maximum, 1%. Yes.
Okay. So
out of that 1%, we pay. Out of that 1%, we pay all the necessary tax that government needs.
Good.
And charges.
Good. In there. So we'll go to. There's a serious issue I can take you through, but that's not for today. About how we tax corporate system in Ghana. That is a big failure from successive government up to date. We can go into that in the future discussion. But let's look at a simplistic view now. So MTN is taking every mode of payment in Ghana.
Yes.
By 1%, which is a business case to make that profit. And out of that, they employ Ghanaians and the rest they take back home. Mm-hmm. Ghana government, out of pandemic, is saying that he wants to mobilize revenue locally. And that revenue is going to be used.
Hold it right there. Wait. I don't have a problem if government want to mobilize revenue.
Yeah.
Government have been giving enough, which they misused. You and I today, we can attest to that. It is no secret. Tell me, who in his right conscience will be willing to give a government more when he is already misusing what we've already given them?
You see, what you are doing, you have to separate the issues. We'll call something efficiency.
I can't separate it. How am I separating it? The tax, efficiency, I told you before, taxing my capital is wrong. Yeah. You don't tax the capital before I even use it for any
a person is ready to a person for his capital to be taxed by MTN. Take it away. Sorry? A person is part of his money to be taken by MTN.
MTN is providing a service for you.
Wait, I allow you to make your point. If you stop me with I'll allow you to talk. When you finish, I'll come in. Don't stop. You talk. When you finish, I'll make my case. So I'll allow you to talk when you finish. Don't stop me when I'm talking. So you go on.
Just like ECG, when they give you a meter of all your usage that you pay, you also pay service charge. The service charge, part of it goes into, some people call it rental charge. because there are different charges that go into that service charge. Okay, that is what MTN does with the 1%.
Okay.
That is what every business, anybody operating a business and offering a service, use to pay whoever they are employing to do the service. Which service has government provided in this e-levy business? What?
So, can you hold on? Let me also talk. Don't interrupt me, please. Okay. First of all, if you're a manager, there are various systems and desired things you put in place by which you can raise revenue and run a system. One of it is born by psychology. And that psychology is in depth in economics with something we call elastic demand and inelastic demand. All over the world, what government does is that they create inelastic path. And with that inelastic path is a product that people cannot do without. So if you employ someone as a manager, you should have this conceptual thing at the back of your mind that what system can I create to create a dependency, and out of that, you can benefit out of it. One of it, I'll give you one illustration. One is even drink. People can form a habit of drinking, and government will be taxing it because it got inelastic demand. Smoking, petrol. There are a number of things I can tell you in economics point of view by inelastic things. So what government is that with the British system, British government have opted out never to tax even anything to do with financial tax. That's British government. But look at the credit card system. If you own a card and you are using it, they make the card so easy for you to use so that you depend on the credit card or your bank card. So that the money is in your wallet. So that if I'm traveling from America to Great Britain, I don't need to carry money on me. With the card, I can withdraw money when I come to UK. Now, anytime I'm putting that card, okay, in the ATM machine, a charge is applied to it. So it's a system by the financial institutions to create a dependency that people can depend on that will serve their convenient way. So in Ghana, you have the mobile system, mobile interoperability. Okay, what government has done is that, okay, let me make investment in this area that makes it comfortable for people. What does the government do? Government make investment in it so that you can have exchange transfer of money from here to here. That platform costs about 400,000 Ghana cedis. Okay, government is coming out of pandemic. I agree with you when you talk about wastage. I cannot challenge you on that. There's wastage in the system. So if you make an argument that let's look at the wastage, it's a perfect case, Morgan. I cannot disagree with you on that.
But the NDC have made that case.
Oh, forget about NDC. So now let's look at what is the value system that is coming out of this. Okay, you have a country that from this year, you are going to have a backlog of 100,000 graduates coming out every year. By 4 years, we're going to get 400,000 students added to the already pool of people who are not even a job. Don't forget about that, though. Now look into our road infrastructure. At the moment, the current bill before the government of Ghana, is 18 billion. When I went to Ghana, I saw a woman. He did a contract work in 2011-12. The amount has not been paid. He's a Ghanaian businesswoman. Why the money has not been paid? In Ghana, we've mortgaged the road fund, and the money coming from it cannot realize pay the debt. Okay, look at the other infrastructure in terms of schools. Where is it going to come from? So we have to think outside the box. That one, how do we solve the security issue in Ghana? So that the youth coming out, at least, we create a platform for them to have something to start with. So you have to come with a policy like YouStart. What is YouStart? YouStart is a business framework that will help the youth coming out to get a capital to go into their own venture. It's not only that. There's a department that does business plan. There's a department that does market feasibility studies for you. Then you assess capital, then you go. It doesn't stand for that. There's a process that you have to go through. So you are looking at a system that, oh, okay, I'm paying tax, but that tax, is it going to help this youth? Can I help to do something? Then there's another one, another leg. Oh, my roads are not good. Government Ghana cannot raise money as we are now. We cannot go and borrow money to do roads now. So if I'm paying something little, that will do my roads for me.
We can stop buying cars for our MPs and use them to do roads.
Okay. So now let me go back to where you are coming from now. You see, I wanted us to discuss the issue of efficiency, which I agree with you perfectly that in Ghana we really have to have a serious accountability issue on the wastage. That one, I can never argue with anyone when you complain about waste because it's been systematic with us for over the years. The leakages are huge. But I'm talking about where we are now. Where we are now is a patient that have a deep cut of cutlass. He's bleeding. Do you have to stop the bleeding before you help the patient to recover? Or you try to help to recover, then the patient bleed to death? Morgan, I'm giving you 4 scenarios. Think about this. First one 1 year, I ran a beer bar in Accra. They've closed my business. So I cannot do any job for 1 year. I ran travel and tour agency. My business has run down for 1 year. I run a restaurant. I cannot run for a year. So 2020 pandemic, me as a human being, I'm completely out. Life is difficult for me. My capital is gone. If I run a restaurant, my landlord will also not get the money. 1 year, my landlord has lose revenue he should get from me. My landlord went to borrow money from a bank. The money he went to borrow from a bank, my landlord, he cannot pay the bank. So the bank is also in crisis. So there's something we call visual cycle running through 2020 as a result of pandemic. Now, government, too, you have civil servants you need to pay. 1 year, your airport is closed. Few revenue is coming in. There's no major activities. You cannot tax the people. But workers have not been sacked. Teachers are staying home for 1 year. You have to pay them. If you are faced with this challenge,
the issues you are raising are very debatable in the sense that COVID is here, yes. People's businesses are at a loss now, yes. We are not talking about the individuals. We are talking about government. You see, okay. This is the same government we've managed to, even amidst the pandemic, look at the monies that were raised for this government in this pandemic by this COVID fund, institutions, individuals, whatnot. Look at all the revenues we are generating from this COVID testing and whatever from our airport and everything. You see, as Ghanaians, we see all these. So when the government comes back, not accounting for all these monies that we are seeing go down the drain, and asking for more.
Accounting for it, headed by the minority. So as the minority,
we are asking all of them.
It's in the Public Accounts Committee. If you want to find it, the report is there. You can go and find out. Please.
Is it the same account that shows that monies are missing and the government doesn't chase them?
You see, that is another debate. People don't understand it.
I'll give you an example. Thank you. You see, there are issues. You don't ask us to overlook all these issues.
No. It's because we refuse to understand.
The way of taxing is wrong. We should accept it.
No. Morgan.
It doesn't work like that.
Morgan. You have to understand the civil system, how it works. Look, Auditor General go to do examination of how people have complied with government policies. There is something we call MTEF. MTEF is Medium-Term Expenditure Framework. And in government, there's something we call BMC, Budget Manager Center. Then we have somebody we call the spending officer. The auditor goes to go and make sure they're in compliance with that. So when you see the Auditor General report, it only talks about leakages in the system. It doesn't end there. It's not finality. So when I see people talking about 12 billion, it's a joke. Look, this is the process it works. When you see the 12 billion, it goes to the public. It's an interim report that shows that people have not been in compliance. Then it goes to the Auditor General, it goes to the Public Accounts Committee. The Public Accounts Committee in Ghana is headed by the minority so that they can put a check on the government spending. Now, I want you to tell me the difference between Public Accounts Committee report and the Auditor General report. You see that there's a huge discrepancy because at the time the Auditor General is filing his report, he might not have solicited for other information that he needed or he's time bound. I'll give you one example. Sylvester Mensah, NDC, NHS. He was accused by the previous Auditor General, the one we call Demlevo, that he has embezzled 5 billion. He surcharged him. He went to court. The court exonerated him that Demlevo was wrong. If you have taken due process, you would have found out. So if you want to talk about leakages in the Auditor General report, I want you to reconcile what comes from the Public Accounts Committee, because the Public Accounts Committee is the finality. Then there's a surcharge. The surcharge is that you have not been in compliance. Okay, now I'll give you one test case. If you overpayment, leakage like ghost names, if there's a ghost names, it comes to maybe Morgan, you work with MTN, and MTN is Ghana government work. 80 workers there are ghost names. When the auditor comes there, he will charge the manager there that you are not in compliance.
Archie, don't even go to ghost names. Ekufuor mentioned ghost names. Atamils mentioned ghost names. Mahama did say, Ekufuor is doing same. We can't be listening to their rhetorics.
No, it's not rhetorics. Now there's a solution. There's a solution today.
Keep paying.
You see?
We can't do that.
Morgan,
excuse
what
and
you don't,
pay.
Morgan,
no.
let me give you an
giving
explanation.
us all the education. I appreciate it.
You see,
how it
Morgan,
works.
Morgan, you see, yes, I'll tell you what it works. You see, what Ghana we have not done is the foundation for the country. The foundation that Ghana needs was the Ghana card. And the foundation that we need was the GPS address system. I'll tell you going forward what will happen to these ghost names. In Ghana, in our history, you can pass through the system with 2 or 3 identities. Now, with the issue of Ghana card, every Ghanaian have only one identity. And now what they're doing in the next phase is data matching, where all Ghana ID cards and people who work for Ghana government, the data is matched. Where is the ghost going to come from? So you see that by the introduction of Ghana card, how much savings is Ghana government making from only ghost names? These are the issues I'm talking about. Because with Ghana card, you can't have ghost names. When they do the data match with Controller Accountant General, with Passport Office, with all government, e-government projects, where is the ghost going to come from?
Yeah, so until then, me as a Ghanaian taxpayer, I will not be comfortable giving Ekufuor or any other government when it's not even my profit is taxing. I will not be comfortable doing that.
Okay.
I don't see how you can explain it for me to be comfortable to do that. Even the ones that are legit, you need to yakra. To be honest with yourself, you know that tax
Morgan, there's something you call bound of rationality. That concept of bound rationality, you see, it's not my feelings, it's not your feelings. Let's look at what the situation is and then let's criticize how it is. I'm only telling you that there's something in Ghana we call Ghana card. Ghana card is a unique identity for any Ghanaian in Ghana, and you have that identity from birth till you die. So now, as it is in Ghana today, if you go and forge something with your passport and it cannot match with your Ghana card, you have a problem. So we have gone to a system that we've now laid a foundation which should have been done 30, 20 years ago. So our problem is there. I agree with you, Morgan, the issues you are raising. But we don't have even the foundation to solve the problem. So look at the rotos that we are collapsing. To be able to even effectively implement roto, you need good address system. You need a good functional e-DV system. You need identity. So that when a driver passes, a camera will capture the number plate. The number plate will go to DVLA. With DVLA, there's an address there that will come back to you. Okay, if you operate E2, then you don't have Ghana card. In Ghana card, your address is there. So when you go to DVLA, where are they going to address the thing to? So you see, Ghana is on a pilot stage of a development stage that we are putting things together. And that development stage, Morgan, is going to be painful. It's going to be painful because some will benefit and some will lose out. But we should look at a bigger picture that what is our end goal? Look, in the current budget here, do you know that they are going to build 12 schools? We call it a specialized school that will enhance talent of only Ghanaians. So that people with special talent, they will not go to the mainstream again. How long have we been waiting for this? Do you know that Ghanaians are going to do
Achibobu, hold it right there. Do we need new schools to do that?
You see, where are you coming from?
It is just the curriculum we have to look at. We don't need new schools to do that.
You see, Morgan,
why do we need to build new schools just to cater for special needs when we can change the curriculum, which will cater for everybody in Ghana? So then I choose. The curriculum says I can choose. Then I can choose that I want to do technical. Then I choose. But today, as it is, that is, you are not even looking at giving me that option. You are creating a new one which says, Wait. If my if my parents live in Zabzugu and they don't get to hear of these new schools, or they don't live close to any of these new schools that you are building, it means my kids, or if even I am the student, I wouldn't get to benefit.
Okay,
Or
Morgan, let
even
me
if I
explain
have
to you.
to benefit,
You see,
I
Morgan,
have to pay more to benefit.
I'm going. I can't have time for you. Let me finish with Morgan, then I'm going. Abby, I'm long. They're pulling my leg.
There are a lot of
Abby, wait. Let me finish with let me address this Morgan issue. Morgan, you see, this is the problem. You see, Morgan, I understand you perfectly. Let's look at the system now. Morgan, hello. I'm long. They're pulling my leg. There are a lot of Morgan, okay. Morgan, now, you see, let's look at a scholarship secretariat. In Ghana, scholarship secretariat was centralized.
Okay.
Morgan, the scholarship secretariat was centralized. So you can only, if you are talented and you need even support, there have to be a way you have to get to Accra before you get it. Now, scholarship secretariat in every district in Ghana can be done. Now, let me tell you, before the inception of free SHS, there were more than 100,000 Ghanaian students who were dropped out. They didn't have ability to access school. Okay, what were the fate of those children? What were they doing when they were dropped out? The policy to counteract that is what we call no child left behind. No child left behind means that a child should have the opportunity to access education in Ghana. So you have the free SHS that is running. Then to run side free SHS is a policy we call TVET. TVET is focused on vocational skills, so that children are given the choice to either focus the free SHS mainstream one or go to the TVET one. I'll give you the number of TVET that have been built now. Now, beyond the TVET, then they are building a specialized school for children with special talent that will go into building of robotics and those things. Okay? So now you're going to have 3 parallel lines. Free SHS for everyone to go. TVET for children who want to go into vocational skills. Then you have the special talent one who are going to do robotics and those things. But by the way, do you know that even in Ghana today, children have been roped into this car manufacturing industry? That they've recruited 320. They're going through engineering course. In Britain here we call it apprenticeship. So they are going to school, they are engineers in Toyota and BMW. So by the time they finish school, they become engineers. So with the China model, those children are going to grow up to become Ghanaian children who have the knowledge and skill to manufacture cars. With time, if Ghana think that we can no more have BMW or Toyota in Ghana, we have engineers with the skill, knowledge, how to build cars in Ghana. So to me, it's a painful process. I can understand the wastage in the system. I can understand the problem we are facing. But let's look at the policy. Let's look at where we are going, because there is something great ahead of us. So yes, it's true. You can complain, but practically there's something good on our pathway. Morgan, I'm coming on Monday. I'll see the personally come. I need to go out. Abi,
All right, all right.
I need to go. I'm
Thank
very
you,
sorry.
thank you, Bobo. Yeah, that's it. Bobo akebi pa. Why? Na yema Abi Emra. Abi eka se wi a ye sorry so anu no. Nti no na Vorgan kakra bi a Vorgan ne be so so no dey so so. Abi, ye go. Hey, Rambo, Rambo, Rambo,
But
Rambo,
man,
Rambo.
there were a lot of holes in Achibobo's presentation. I was sleeping, but when I woke up, where I heard, or some of the things I heard, I wasn't happy at all. That Achibobo says when anybody is accepting the Auditor General's report, he cringes. Does Achibobo want to tell us that the Auditor General's report is wrong? He should rather feel sorry for the current government, because the Auditor General's report, what the Auditor General reported in his auditing report was either about 1/4 or 1/5 of what has gone waste. So that 12.8 billion times 4 or times 5 is the rot in the system. And he admitted in his last closing comment that there is waste. And the waste is what we are talking about. You understand? There is waste. The waste is what we are talking about. And the waste is what is making this government useless. Today I received a book. The title is The Efficient Society. You understand? And Canada is more or less the most efficient society. They were trying to compare, especially healthcare delivery, healthcare costs. Canada spends about 6.9 billion on their healthcare delivery system. In America, which is about 6.9%, about some percentage of their GDP, I think 6.9% of their GDP for all Canadians. America spends 6.6 billion of its GDP on healthcare delivery, but it is not. Do you understand? And that 6.6% of their GDP covers only less than 30% of the American population. Do you understand? The essence is you try to get the maximum out of the expenditure or out of the income you. But the current crop of people we have, Akufo-Addo and his people, don't believe in reducing any waste. They feel the money is there, so you spend it as much as you can with impunity. And Bobo was trying to tell us that, it is the opposition or the minority who should be responsible for ensuring that there's no waste. Well, you are wrong. The minority are chairing the Public Account Committee. The Public Account Committee is like they are like oversight. Do you understand? They are like oversight, so that eventually people who have gone excessively are either caught and punished. But the onus is on the government, the executive, to ensure that all the people spending the appropriations, this is what they are fighting about. Parliament Appropriation Committee approves that, okay, you can spend this, you can spend that, we can allow. It is up to the existing government to ensure that, we have been given 10 billion on transport. Let's make sure that we spend within this 10 billion. Parliament comes in when instead of them spending 10 billion, they spend like 15 billion, 20 billion. But it is up to the government to ensure that they comply with the appropriation committee. Because when they fail, they spend excessively, they are going to be the public account committee. So the onus is on the ruling government to ensure that they play or stay within the rules. And this crop of people we have, they don't care. They are like accountable to none. They are their own masters. They don't respect anybody. They don't obey anybody. That's why Akufo-Addo can chatter whatever play he wants. Because they don't care. They don't account to anybody. They are above the law. So, Bobo, I mean, please, you people should stop defending these people. The amount of waste, about 50 billion cedis in our system, is what we complain about. It's what is worrying us. If I'm going to do my business, then somebody like Ken Ofori-Atta or Akufo-Addo or something will task me and use my money to fly anything he wants.
All right, Abi. Mama Desia, why?
And Papa Smiley, all the schools he was talking about, they are going to build special. Do we need any special building for these things? Do you need any special structures to embrace apprenticeship as part of the education process? Do we need it? I mean, this is another waste of money. The problem why our education is not fit for purpose is that we don't link the classroom with practice, or we don't link the classroom with industry.
Okay, Abe, thank you. Why? Where does it? Morgan, for 2 minutes, why?
Yo, my that achibobo as any education or their mommy. But as I was saying earlier, education there, unfortunately for us, we don't have the right environment for us to say near we see the waste, as we keep saying. We see the loopholes that we know government can do something about, but they have relented on doing anything about them. So if they don't want to do it,
that's their lifestyle.
Yes. So if they are not willing to take those difficult decisions, why should we take the pinch of paying e-levy? That is not something we can accept.
Thank you very much. Kwabena.
Papa, I Eda, and from a time in Nina, so near Valent.
I thought you were going to give me all your time.
Okay, all right.
My problem, the major problem is
what Fabio?
Papa, no how?
Young Quay, what? 2 minutes.
Na Kwabena problem kito in our ocean. I want any badge, a be annoyed by Latory. My problem is said, I say abuse the second. Media, me chat for say, and ship dealer say, Kumasi Brewery, on machine say, that, and so then be a friend radio so. Yes, UST, a Department of Engineer, Professor, way engineer, on machine is saying, or more South African, I copy engineers, Mama Bay. Ebina, no, instead of say, your bell link, I didn't to practical, no, your bar, your bell lecture. Say lectures near Dibu Maya. Oh, and Kagana mine ke kone ni mache. Ke tu kwa mkromano ke kone ye wo motivational speakers. Mo ye classroom lectures. Mo ye outside preachers. Mo be preachy. Ube di platform no so. Be di akwa ba kunya ko Uganda se Rwanda ko siya lecture. Chumbuafu. Obeka de no we but Fidi Kadochi, practicals in Ankasano, Yanyan Kono, and only a 7. Entino Ghana Yaman over Biedruno. Ye, 6 billion, Abra Yaja 12 billion, Yakotwa teaching. And Nansanim, Medebesia.
Yo, Bombardier.
Papa.
2 minutes, Yanko.
The Americans say Omicron no say atiati say on say all this while na Africa na am say ade no na eyaje kakra but say no this is so find nipa be certain and mo 70 Omicron no ama say ukọ ICU ni nyina eya yema enzo msi konfono che kwa wan hwe say kwaso wan hwe close because doctors plan nyina na say omonya infections ni bi nti ebesre me dem ka say no wo wan wo benya obetumanya bi me mo wo dia wo better chance of survival no me I believe in the science and obetumi aye traditional ni nyina nso ye part of science no ye traditional no na wo vaccine ne ka ho na de wanya double say no virus anya de air ko na say covid na anya de abekosi abakosi flu no ye be wo booster na akosi say cause ade ne sesa ne o science nso sign ho nti to de bi ne nkofo agiwe na bia wo trefo ade nto munya da bi udie say ade ne onye original na alpha no say free alpha ko micron the 15th letter of the Greek alphabet there na just ade na enye the same nti yenwo na yendi ehu na yeye say samra mka say eye Greater Accra Regional Security Council no oma close all beaches from ene obi no betuma ko beach kosi to further notice ebia later na maybe na ko churches ne mosques ne other places no na ebia finally kwa be lockdown me dem gidi say UK enche bia Boris Johnson wo hwe mo de bonya na wie mu wie na se bia February say de no because Omicron no ade ba ko no say ha drink to say delta no no utmenya no quick na we positive ayen ka say ade na so na say once when you positive no as someone no maybe access to so many places nti ebesre yen kwoswa wo yen sa na yen share max no na yen social distance no sisi maka sisi na family project wo ye na wo ira anya bia obetimi de ama wo nti wo hwese wo ye na wo so wo ire no so ana ho kani na no partner no wo hwese wo so aye bi enkwa ni nyina wo kosu basa no enkwa so se bebre so tifi omanyinye bi enka na ha nkra sisi no mutated one no ha nkra no nti ebesre sisi Greater Accra na close enche bia Cape Coast regional yi nso no so de aba ana Western region certain region na basa na nese corona na sabeko lockdown but it more people vaccinated na yen lockdown e be fan so the SSA no we are living with it ni kon kan kan te meda vaccine ni
Bombardier, do we have enough vaccines to cover everybody?
Yes, now no we have Ghana has enough no sisi kran no kran ko wo as sisi wo hwe northern region ni water region yi ho no sisi mo low yi no enkofo nko in other places no so enti no so mutimi medication economic timi advice ko enye se bia bembe cause fertility na ebi mu size bembe cause fertility na se bia enti omo mo ya anti-vaccine no anti-vax no they also have their reasons enti ni nyina ye kasa kire ni
Bombardier, I believe Maminga Crown the way a quick one. I believe so more voter in Northern. You see, somebody like me, Martin for 2 years, Minko Jumada. Me neighbor beer nyare COVID. And when you are preaching, say COVID, no, it is the same experience. How do they understand to go and then get the vaccines? You see what the problem is? It's not as if Ghanaians are so day, but we are not seeing it as the cold countries, like Mr. Chum keeps saying, the cold countries are seeing it. That is the problem. Yes,
this Omicron is no, but this is an can Delta ya survive it. That before ni but Omicron ni die. Omo mu say sisi na noa no, sisi no kofokwa vaccine no. Omo nye bi. Enti Omicron no ye ebia enti ufri Omicron na ye nim the next year obe miteti into. Ni ye kwa ni ye ko yi omega o. Enti chese ebia na previous one no na affect Europe for ni ye ebia de eba no eni na affect Africa.
Okay, all right then. Thank you very much. Adofo, Meda Obi Biase for their role, their part in today's program.
Are you coming tomorrow?
Tomorrow is Saturday, then tomorrow ever.
Or you go chop chicken now.
Tomorrow, Mr. Piwa Munyom Kakra, right? Mr. Piwa Munyom Kakra. Why? But for now, the fancy I say. Now,
can we call him and request a song?
You can, yeah. You can call him and request a song as long as
request a song for you.
Okay, no problem. Magic. Why? It's your face here. Morgan, thank you very much. Kwabna, thank you. Ura, Rambo, thank you. Wafa Body, also thank you. Anna Lugard Boy, Bombardie, also thank you. Big Man Achibobo, thanks a lot. A brain intino, your face here, Nyami Admoa, Ebnada, yeah, the live edition of Bamaso, I there, Asa bro. But for now, dear.
Now,
Kwesada ya baba nwumre na kwesada nwumre no ka topic ni nkyere we nkrofo bi bompa ya so nnuanoma Christopher no particular bompa ni nyina wia wam so in the name of Jesus no maka amen mebwa say in the name of Jesus na ya omode soso no ye bisi hu say ase kyere say why nyame adma kwesada ye bonkomo nti ye fancy until we come again bye bye.
Quick.
Yeah.
Are you
And they send me.
a Galatian or a Pharisee?
The old yana me be why? The old yana no be na me why?
Sidwana Jofana Minko Mikoda Yana Mavi Odo Iwano Nkomo Sidwana Jofana Minko Mikoda Yana Mavi Odo Iwano Wabi